Funimation, baby. You got it. This is the English dub for this game. Dragon Ball Z Budokai, baby. Infogrames. Do you remember that? I doubt you do. Maybe you do. Look, Dimps. Awesome company. Sort of. At least back in the day it was. See, ADX, you'll see all this stuff in older games all the time. It was in Tekken. It was in Soul Calibur. So this is going to be muted because this can get you copyright claims because it's Rock the Dragon, the anime intro used in, I think, the Funimation dub. I don't know if he's using the Ocean dub, but it's awesome. This intro is amazing. The fact that they 3D modeled essentially the anime opening is awesome. It's so good, man. This game really tried to focus more on trying to deliver story elements into the game. And not only doing that, but also giving bonus story mode stuff that you wouldn't see in other Dragon Ball games at the time. Look at Gohan, dude. He's flying around, man. I'm just pointing out all these visuals as well. I'm trying to do this at 480p. Obviously, it'll be rendered at a higher resolution, but man, I'm still impressed at 480p, dude. This game looks amazing. Oh my goodness. Forward to the time. I should say. 3D models on the PS2 this early, because this game came out in 2002 on PS2 and came out in 2003 on the GameCube. Very strange decision to do that, but it is what it is. Man, they didn't have to do this. I'm just going to point that out. They did not need to put this much effort into the 3D models and doing all of this that was from the anime. They obviously had a reference to what they were doing, but it's just insane to me that they actually went through and did it for this game. Obviously, this music is notorious. Maybe plagiarized a little bit. I think the first 3 Budokai games were. Look at all that copyright. So this is your title screen. It looks pretty good. Look at the soulful nature of that font. Oolong arriving just in time with Poir to show us the new game and load game. Awesome stuff. And it's like the Scouter. Like I said, there's some good cosmetics with this game. Not cosmetics, but good aesthetics with this game. Sorry, I'm getting nostalgic. This was probably one of the first Dragon Ball games I ever played. Dude, I played Ultimate Battle 22. I don't plan on reviewing that anytime soon. I might, but God, do I not want to. You got story, duel, world tournament, practice, edit skills, options, Legend of Hercule that happens after you beat the story mode, and that's pretty much it. Notice how it's all 7 Dragon Balls. Freaking brilliant aesthetically. This is probably one of the more creative menus that you'll see in a fighting game. It doesn't happen very often, but this is more like an anime that got turned into a fighting game, so they had a lot more to work with compared to trying to do it from scratch like Tekken, being a clone of Virtual Fighter, or even Soul Calibur. So the first thing we're going to do, as always, is practice, but I gotta show off options first. And we'll get into edit skills after practice. So you got your game options. You got easy, normal, hard, very hard. The select button on default, it's on easy, and it's on weak normally. I'm gonna put it to normal and average, so to let you know, they actually went easy on you. You can have quick start, which I think skips the title screen and goes into loading the game. I'm not for sure. But dual time already being on infinite's awesome. I think that was a smart idea. You got your save and load feature, you got your controller. Look, it's a 3D controller, man. I love this gimmick. Well, it looks 3D. I think it's a 2D image, really, though. You can actually see the controller on the screen, man. Look at that PS2 controller. What an amazing controller that was. So you can customize, you can do A, B, whatever. I have custom on to have all the transformations in one button, stuff like that. You also have the screen. You can move the screen around. You can also change the brightness if you want to. I do like the light bulb actually goes dim as you move further to the left, and it gets brighter as you go to the right. Simple things like that is what made video games soulful back then. Things they did not have to do and put in the effort to do it because they cared. You also have your screen adjust here of where you want the HUD. This font's good too. I think this font is in line of what the Dragon Ball Z universe was like at this time, or at least up until the Cell Saga, which is what this game is. These pictures in the background are so soulful too. You also have Goku on the flying Nimbus up there. It's great. I love this. The background's kind of It's not really that great, but I do like the text box is great. The font popping up underneath. The Dragon Ball's actually shining. God, they don't make games like this anymore. Look at Sparking Zero. I mean, this stuff has what ifs, probably better than Sparking Zero. It does. So we're going to be playing as Trunks. Trunks has some interesting transformations in this game. You could go Super Saiyan 2 in this, which is just insane levels of foreshadowing, or also just simply a mistake at this time. Got every character unlocked, so we'll go left to right. We got Frieza here. You got Vegeta. You got Goku. Kid Gohan. You have Teenage Gohan, by the way. For some odd reason, we have a Buu Saga character, a Great Saiyaman. He's a bonus character, but the fact that this is only supposed to be towards the Cell Saga makes this a weird addition to the game. For some odd reason, we have a Buu Saga character, a Great Saiyaman. Piccolo, we got Tien, Krillin, Android 18 and 17, as well as 19, 16, Dodoria, Zarbon, Ginyu, Yamcha. Oh, look, it's Trunks again. Raccoon, Hercule, Nappa, Raditz, and Cell. Cell's got got messed up voice lines too. When he's in Perfect Cell, he sounds like Imperfect Cell. Vegeta's Super Vegeta form is insane. His hair is super tall. There's just weird, goofy stuff in this game. But we're gonna do the classic Trunks versus Vegeta. These are also nice PNGs. I don't know if they show up anywhere else in anything at all. I think these were custom made for this game. I also like the wipe away effect. That's a pretty neat effect. You also got random here. You got normal and custom. Normal is like your basic level skills. Custom is where you actually put in skills in the edit skills section of the game for each individual character. You can also choose a different costume based on the buttons you press. So this is one of my favorite parts of this game specifically. The maps actually load in 3D to show you what map you're actually going to be going on to. So you have the Cell Games Ring. You have Planet Namek. Look at this effort. They didn't have to do that. Valley Plains. World Tournaments. Look at that, man. Oh my God. So good. Look at the microphone even sparkles. Grassland. Look at that. They even put a rainbow. They didn't even have to do that. Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Not only does it have unique art in the background, but also animating this entire thing. The other ones are usually static or just rotate. This is insane because the doors are also moving back and forth. I like Yajirobe at the top right too. What's he doing up there? Avoiding trouble as usual. See, this one isn't really animated. It's static. I mean, it was a good idea. I mean, it's just rocks. Look at islands though. Look at that. Woo woo. Sound effects are good. Look at that pole straight up to Kami's Lookout. Bounces up and down. Left to right. That's good stuff. We're going to go to Kami's Lookout because I'm going to show you some cool stuff that you can do in this game as well as the stages. But that's all the stages that you get. I think there were, what, 9 there? Not a whole lot to work with. It's bare bones Dragon Ball Z 3D game. Because the other games were usually in 2D or just very bad. There's not a lot of great Dragon Ball Z games before this one. Notice how I have a different outfit on? Over here. Over here. You're going to listen to a lot of voice acting this. It's a Funimation dub, so if you don't like the dub, I don't know what else to tell you. Ah! This is practice mode. It shows you how many max hits, damage, total damage, max damage. You have your command inputs at the bottom, and it shows the capsule at the bottom right, and you're wondering, what the heck does that mean? Those are your skills, which I'll show in the skill list real quick. So it tells you how much key it requires in the button presses or the inputs in order to do that move activation. So here's Buster Cannon. 4 punches and an energy. It's also colored based on the PS2 controller. The P's are purple for square being purple, and E is energy, which does that, which is also red for circle. They really were creative about doing this. It's obviously different on the GameCube. I think they just have the GameCube inputs on there. So you have Super Saiyan and Super Trunks and Super Trunks 2. That's what they call it in this game. Technically, Super Trunks is, what is it? They call it Ascended Super Saiyan, where technically it's more power but less speed, as Goku talked about in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. And you also have your special moves. These are hard to get off. And I'll show you that when I put the computer on very strong to show you some of the busted stuff in this game. This game's kind of jank. It's got great aesthetic. It's got a great soundtrack. For better or for worse, for that reason, maybe a little bit of copyrighted plagiarism. It relies too much on melee than it does energy, and blocking is not the best. There's no teleport in this game. That's why it kind of weighs it down a whole lot in terms of the gameplay. Other than that, it's okay. And certain moves require you to be in a certain transformation. You're going to charge up all the way. You have 7 key bars. Also, this is a great HUD to show Trunks' face, Vegeta's face on the other side, and it's whatever character you have. They also change if you transform. So if I transform into Super Trunks 2, and it's different for each form. But as you notice, as I punch Vegeta, he'll shake as he's getting hit. They did not have to do that. Also, there's stage transitions on certain maps. Notice how that did almost a full health bar. You have 3 life bars. There are no other rounds till you live or you don't. Wow, did you see that did 934 damage? That did 852. Transformations are really good in this game, if you noticed. Well, they can be. The problem is when you transform to higher transformations, your key bar drains rapidly. As you can tell, I went from 7 to 6. I'll go down to 5. But we're also showing off stuff that you can also go in the air. You want to try to find things that knock your opponent in the air. I think the crazier thing to me is that you can actually sometimes delay your charge moves. So this is a charge move. This is supposed to break up blocking. Some characters are better with it. So you actually have like a backdash. You can also sidestep, but it's the Virtua Fighter sidestep, up and then block at the same time. Dude, look at that attention to detail though when you block. Their hands change. Also, Vegeta's like, jitters all the way down. So we could reset our position up top again. And it's instant. Did you see how instant that was? That's insanely good for a 3D game at this time. So I'm going to show you Trunks' first transformation to show you. Finish. Okay, that was a taunt. Taunts take away 1 energy bar if they go out. All right, so see Trunks' face in the top left, it's different there. If you see the 3 chains, they're not necessarily chains. I think they're supposed to be whatever the scouter language uses. Green, yellow, red, that's your health bar stuff to let you know as well. So I'm going to show off Burning Attack to show you that there are special moves in this game that each character can do. I'm going to transform all the way to show you the damage. Burning Attack, baby. No Burning Slash in this game. But watch this animation. Each one has their own special animation as well. As well as being voice acted. If you can get that off, that's 1.5 health bars. Over 1.5 health bars, which is insane. So what we're going to do is put the computer on hard mode now, because I think I pretty much talked about most things in this game. If both of you do a power move, you end up in a clash, and then you'll have to rotate the sticks. You could actually deflect key blasts. You're going to see how this game pretty much plays. Notice how that was unsafe? There's not a lot of block stun in this game. So when you're in a combo, you got to commit. That's really the problem. Oh, I'm not fast enough. Ooh, a guard break rarely happens with that. Oh my goodness. Never mind. Oh my god, he just got Final Flash off on me. At least you can see this animation. This is sick. I always like the animations in this game. Also, you notice the key is a different color than probably what you're used to in other games. Like blue, purple, stuff like that. I mean, you want to do it sparingly if they keep blocking. There we go. That was an amazing sidestep. There we go. He never blocks. Goku blocks. I just want to show this off to show that I'm not a schizophrenic, because Goku does block. I would have shown off 5 hours of this game. I don't care. It's awesome. Also, you got an interactable loading screen. This is going to be a commonplace thing in the Budokai games. Wow, he actually transformed. He never transformed when I was Team Gohan. Notice how I blocked that, by the way? I blocked his ki blast in the middle of a combo. There's enough time to where they're charging up their ki blast that I could just block. I blocked that. That's a block. Or I would have done more damage and knocked me up. Transformations are good for damage, but trying to keep them alive is not good. They take too much ki, which is why that was ended up changing in Budokai 3. So Gohan could do this. You can kind of combo off the ground, which I really don't like. Not a big fan. Look at that. Okay, now imagine if I was transformed. You see that did 444? Now let's try it as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. That did a little bit more damage. 50 more damage is pretty good. Also, if you notice, I could do a blast. The thing is, I don't think that normally works because, first of all, you have to make sure every punch hits. Second of all, they can recover in time. If you notice, the recovery off the ground is insane. Yeah, baby! Also, if you miss, like if they block, it won't hit. Oh, did you see that cancel? Did you see that charge cancel? That is insane. Oh, yeah, I got super Kamehameha out. Let's go. Kamehameha. Sick. He does it from the air, too, which is interesting. He tries to jump out of the way. 1440. All right, I think that's enough for practice mode. You got the point and gist of what I was talking about. You got these other stuff in terms of melee supers per se. The fact that it takes 3 key gauges is not worth it. I would try getting the super off if you see an opening. Pretty much, if you get enough key bars and you have the right transformation for it as well. Some characters don't transform in order to do their supers, so I'll let you dictate what you want to play and what you don't want to play at that point. So now we're going to get into edit skills before we go into the story mode. It's also dependent on your memory card. You can also swap between them. It's very nice. So if you want to give someone else your skills, you can do that. So you have your skills list, change your capsules, skill shop, and about skills. You'll see this capsule system throughout the entirety of the Budokai games, including Infinite World, which isn't called Budokai, it's called Infinite World. So you can tell I have all the capsules. You have all the support, physical, and ability. As you notice, multiple characters have multiple abilities. Look how many abilities Trunks has. That's because also his transformations count as 1, but they also have them organized based on what race they are. Look, I also have all 7 Dragon Balls. You also have System. These are all characters. World Tournament difficulties and Legend of Hercule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Got 23 characters. All right, so you can change capsules here. This is on your custom characters. As you notice, I have breakthrough on every character, which is pretty much every move that is available to them automatically on here, which is why it takes up the entire space of their loadout. Can you move the characters in this? Yes, you can. You can also change the costumes while you're in this. Look at the rotation, baby. Look at this. You can rotate them how you want, just like an action figure. Yo, look at this Zarbon outfit. That's crazy. Look at this costume. What is this? Pajamas? Look at this Yamcha, man. Look at the jacket. Look at that. You also have Vegeta jacket. Look at this outfit. But also, this is where you buy the skills. Mr. Popo's here. He's here to give you skills. So this is where you buy them, but they're random. I think that's the problem with this game specifically, is that they're random. But you can also have like a recommended buy here as well. You have Zenny, which you can earn in the World Tournament, and you have the about skills. It actually teaches you what they do, why they're here. They have nice little PNGs for them too. Isn't that great? That's actually Goku's pose when he does those specific moves in that pattern. You could trade acquired skills between memory cards. Isn't that crazy? So now we get into the story. And the story mode in this game is very animated. That's a special one for Vegeta. That's a special one for Frieza. I do believe this one is. And Cold-Blooded Assassin. This is where Cell absorbs Krillin. It's a unique what if that never comes back in any way, shape, or form. If you already have it in your game, just put it in the sequel as like a alt character or something, like secret character. So we're gonna play the first level of this just to show it off in the beginning, and then I'll show off the what if, specifically with Cell. Oh, don't play this, it's copyright. This actually shows Goku beating Piccolo. Look how slow he is. Doing that in slow motion's crazy. And you also have a narrator for this, which is awesome. Like I said, they were trying to stay faithful to the manga and anime. Look at that water. That water actually looks good. See, they're trying to make it like the anime, so you're familiar with what's going on. Besides the what ifs, of course. Like the Vegeta what if, he turns to a Super Saiyan on Earth. Give me back my son right now. Right now. Right now. Do it right now. This is when Dragon Ball Z, where you could produce an energy blast that was greater than your power level.
There's no way that I'll...
Shame that doesn't happen too often at all later on. Look at Piccolo. He looks like a static image. It'll show the character that you're going to use. This gives you the basic layout of what to do. It tells you at the bottom what to do. You only have 2 skills here. So in story mode, it's going to be very limited based on where you're at in the story. If their body gets lifeless and you just beat it up. Really interesting that it can float in the air, though. That's really interesting.
What? How did you...
And then he grabs his tail and then lets go. You guys know the story of Dragon Ball Z, right? That's all animated. See, you get a skill, see? Super Trunks 2, a skill I already have. But that's where you unlock your characters as well, as by doing story mode. This story mode is unique, and it's a very interesting gimmick later on, because other games do it too. Budokai 3 doesn't really do it. Budokai 2 actually doesn't do it either. Infinite World does, where you have like special side mini games. This, you have to line up the special beam cannon in order for it to work. You have 15 seconds to do it. Look at that ominous music, too. Woo! Notice how Goku's health's going down? You just gotta keep it in the blue. Wow, almost, it's good enough. I cleared it, see? And that's what this game does, especially when you go to Namek as Goku. You fight like a weird cloned version of Vegeta that's very blue. Yeah, special beam kid. Oh, yeah, baby! And then you win. Ta-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We're gonna do the Cell what if, because that's pretty much story mode. It basically goes and recounts the story of Dragon Ball Z. It's nothing too complicated. You've seen it before many times, and you'll see it again, too. But what you're really interested in, if you want to play this game and actually play it, not just see it, I mean, you can just watch cutscenes on YouTube, of course. But you play for the what ifs as well, because they're very special because they're only in this game. These specific what ifs. This is where semi-perfect Cell absorbs Krillin. Look at this character model, man. That's crazy. Looks like a Cell Jr. And apparently Cell is weak enough to even be fought against with the option he had now. It's insane that Krillin was apparently so weak that when Cell absorbed him, not being cumulative or compounded, it became weaker. Hey, that's special. Cell being a PNG in the background is special for this what if. Look at that voice acting is special for this Cell. Look at that, that's all you get. What? Me losing against the option? You see how the bottom was special for this? Hey, that's blue. Wait a minute, that's blue? Sometimes they can home too with the charging attack, which kind of negates the whole point of the sidestep. That's why this game's kind of mid in terms of the fights. No, I lost. Oh, wait. Oh, no, see. Oh, am I gonna clutch it out? Oh, no! Oh, no! No way, dude, that was so close. You also have intro quotes between characters. I didn't show that off because I wasn't in practice. I like that it cuts to a Z, too. Look, give me a break!
Give me a break! He's going to fight awesome. Me all by himself?
Yeah, cooked him. It's just not fair! I love the voice acting for this. It's like a mixture of Cell Jr. and Cell. Like, they're 2 voices combined, and then Krillin in the mix as well. He's like, what? Double PTSD for Cell here. But it was all a dream. That's what I'm saying. I'm fine with them going out there with the what if because we know it's not canon. We don't care. But it's bonus content too that we see a different side of things as well. So game mode I'm going to show off. It's the World Tournament mode. This is where you get your Zenny. It's important to get your Zenny here. So you can choose any character you want and also you can choose the difficulty. We're just going to do novice. Okay? So hopefully I can win here. I guess I can show off Great Saiyan Man. His kick should actually be really good here because in the World Tournament you can actually ring out on the stage. If you ring out, you lose. It's just like World Tournament rules. Look at this! Got sparks coming in. Not only that, you got unique PNGs on both sides. I think it opens up. Amazing transition. I love it. Justice Punch is really interesting because it's an uppercut and then a slam down. You know what? It reminds you of Sean Spike from Second Impact. Look at that. Excellent move to knock people out. You get hit with that, you're probably losing. If they break the invisible wall that's around the world tournament, they just fall out and lose. They also have unique winning poses as well. Frieza also doesn't go through each individual form. He goes from base form, final form, then 100% final form. Thank you, Frieza. And we did it. We won the tournament. So it's basically your tournament mode. Wow, 10,000 is ready. Woo! Thanks for the prize money. Bye-bye. Oh my goodness, I forgot about the Legend of Hercule. How could I forget about this? This is an amazing side mode. Is it rough? Yes. Could it be also boring? Yes. But it's very interesting to decide to do a what if where Hercule beats everyone. The Z Fighters all the way up to Cell. And you only have one run. If you lose, you lose and have to restart all the way back at the beginning. So we're going to do this on Novice to make it quick. It's going to fight a lot of people. And it's narrated by Hercule.
And never giving up to build a powerful body and mind. And having a wild time all the time.
Look at his face at the bottom left. Look at that. Flickering in front of a candle somewhere. Look at the flame! Yo! Look at this, especially animated for this game mode. Awesome. And this is like this in the regular story mode, right?
There's nothing but a strange-looking bunch of losers standing there.
If they only knew. Everyone being oblivious to power is always insane to me. But in this mode, Hercule actually interrupts their fight. Like, he's still wearing the jetpack. They need an excuse of why he flies up in the air. It wouldn't make sense because Hercule doesn't fly.
I can't wait to take on a real challenger.
That's insane.
I'll take on all you losers at once.
That is such an insane statement to make. Fight everyone that's at the tournament. So we first fight Yamcha. So Hercule's pretty limited in his moveset, so it's not going to be that great. You can also win by timeout if you want. I would focus more on just melee if you can. Present for You is the one. He also has a transformation in this game. I don't know why. Did they mean that as a joke? Let me see if I can do it. There we go. Present for You, baby. Hercule landing on his head.
Whoa, what? He's right behind me, isn't he?
What's that? Game Boy Advance? But it's rectangular instead? I like how he rolls and does cartwheels to dodge. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, keep that mouth open. Notice how the map got destroyed when I did my special?
That was a wimp. You two sick bald turkeys. I'll deal with you both at once.
Hercule speaking out loud, and this is internal monologue because it has reverb. That's how you know. But your health won't recover. So there are stipulations. So this keeps going on until you beat Cell and you're the winner. I think you do get something out of it too for doing this, but it is an interesting side mode. Oh, that's right, Android 16, because he was there as well. And that's pretty much the entirety of Budokai 1. If you're interested in this game, it's for PS2 and GameCube, where you can emulate it. You got a copy of it. More retrospectives and reviews on the way. I'm definitely glad to be starting out with this series because I'm more nostalgic about it than I am Tekken. And it actually ends at some point. But take care of yourselves and have an excellent one. Bye-bye.